This week we read two chapters from Krasner. Um, Chapter 9 focused on the Meisner method, not so much the method itself per se, but it focused on like the logical implications of what the method is supposed to be or what the method is. And at the beginning of the chapter, right, the author Pope, he hints that most colleges or college students can say that they've worked on some Meisner. And what that really means is that they've dealt with a mutation, most likely, of what the Meisner technique is, because the Meisner method has mutated, according to Pope, over the decades following him first teaching it and people going out and teaching their reiteration of it. Um, and so Pope also believes that Meisner's commitment was focus on the other actors in the scene and how they affect you and how you react to them. And I feel like not only in the video that we watched, but in just videos that I found on YouTube about the Meisner technique, it was always about um, reaction. It was always about what the other actor gave you, and the key word that always came up was behavior. Behavior. Pay attention to their behavior, kind of thing. And I feel like this chapter also talks about that. Chapter 9, that is, it talks about that when they talk about the scene from Death of a Salesman with Biff and Hap, and how it's not about either one of them venting, but it's more about, them seeing each other and trying to figure out what the other one is saying and what they're trying to imply and why they're doing that. And so it takes the focus off of trying to create these overthought, theory heavy characters. And it's more about focusing on the doing while paying attention to the behavior of the other person in the scene, right? And living in that moment. And then chapter 20 was a little bit of background. This is also from Krasner. Chapter 20 was a little bit of background on the neighborhood playhouse. And the chapter was very short. Um, and while Meisner was associated with the neighborhood playhouse for over 50 years, he was not the founder or the creator of this theater company. And initially, the company started off as an off-Broadway theater company in 1915. Um, and so one of the things that I found interesting is that even within Meisner's own school, how the first year is specifically 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, you're doing Meisner repetition. And even in that, the name can be deceiving because it's not just about robotically doing repetition. It's about listening and paying attention to the other person's behavior. Of course, you might repeat what they're saying until you need to move on to the next thing, or behavior pushes you to the next thing. But yeah, they focus on repetition for the first year, 5 days a week in those 3 hour sessions for a long time. I think they say that the program is, what was it? It was 6 blocks of 3 months. So I'm guessing that first year is however many blocks of months of you just doing repetition. And then also from this chapter alone, right, just how Meisner's repetition or his emotional preparation is attached to imagination, a lot like what Adler's was, and how the work is rounded out by looking at what relationships and circumstances are going on between the characters, or the actors rather, And then how like the second year of his program focuses on acting in front of the camera. And I just think that the chapter was really insightful for like what the Playhouse offers in terms of like classes for actors at various levels. But it wasn't just the chapters, it was the video that came up with it, as well as other videos on YouTube that kind of deep dives into what Meisner wanted from his actors and what the teachers that work in his program now expect of the actors and what they learned from Meisner when he was alive, up until he retired from teaching in the mid-90s.